Welcome to the free astrotheology class. All right. I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. Welcome again. Our textbook, The Gospel and the Zodiac, The Secret Truth About J.C. the Christ Figure. And the author is Bill Darrell-El. All right. Now remember, there are many secrets. This book speaks directly to the secrets related to astrology, hence astrotheology. Okay, so when we talk about astrology, we're talking about physical phenomena, the celestial bodies, and everything else. So that means we're talking about nature and natural law. So if we're talking about nature and natural law, these they are operated, they manifest and operate based upon principles. In other words, underlying laws that govern the natural phenomena. Their movements, how they interact with each other, their influences individually, collectively, whatever you can think of, all of that is undergirded or controlled by the 7 Hermetic principles or the 7 Hermetic laws. Everyone see that? So that would include consciousness. Consciousness. So that's the first Hermetic principle. All is mind, right? Mentalism. Okay, so when we talk on this topic, everything is involved because it's law, such as natural law, common law, linguistics. See, everything is included in that. Nature and nature's law, mathematics. Everyone see that? All right. So we're going to begin on Capricorn. We're going to begin on Capricorn. So when you deal with mathematics, that's also engineering, architecture, physics, chemistry, biology, and then all of the kingdoms, the mineral kingdom, the protozoa kingdom, the bacteria kingdom, the fungi kingdom. I won't say viral kingdom because viruses are not what we have been taught that they are. Okay? They're actually bioweapons. Okay? But they have their origin in nature. This is according to an alternative theory about viruses. Viruses are, well, y'all can search that on your own. That'll take us way off. Okay, so let's begin on page 22. But there are many kingdoms. I believe there are 7. So let's continue. We talked about last class the SOUL, and it's not the remix that the Catholic Church pushed and monetized through doctrine. That's not what the SOUL is. That's a fiction. It's a remix of the natural phenomena called the SOL, the soul, the sun, right? Soul in Latin means sun, S-U-N, sun, okay? So I believe in Dutch and German, You check the etymology of S-O-N, the sun, the masculine air, you'll find that the masculine air and the sun, the yellow orb, the yellow disk in the sky are the same. As they say in Vietnam, same, same. Same, same. So if you reverse S-O-L and you reverse that, that's L-O-S, loss, light. Light. So our S-O-L, that light in our physical body, in our flesh, physical body, performs the same function inside of us as the S-U-N, sun, performs external to us, impacting, affecting us, influencing us, and also everything on planet Earth. Y'all see that? So there's a big sun, and then there's a smaller sun in us that was remixed into a S-O-U-L. This is why when the fleshly body expires, that S-O-L, that soul, that light, what is light? Light is consciousness. Light takes the form of waves and particles. Just like Wi-Fi, you can embed that energy, you can embed it with intelligence. Well, not intelligence, but with information. All right? So that light, when the physical body expires, returns to where it came from. In other words, it's pure intelligence, pure awareness. This is the mind. That's my point. This is the mind. Okay? All is mind. Right? And then thought is man. Man made manifest from the land. So at expiration, we all have our own expiration date coming, right? According to the laws of thermodynamics, energy can never be created or destroyed. It only transforms. Y'all see that? So that whole concept was remixed into a S-O-L, soul. But in fact, we are mind. Okay, now does the physical body have the full functionality of the mind? You know, the first law of thermodynamics? Who knows? But what we do know is that our mental powers, our mental faculties are beyond anything that we ever imagined. And we've been called quacks and lunatics to think that we could heal ourselves and others in their presence or remotely, or use vibration, or to influence another person's mind, or to dominate someone else's mind using our own mind, our own masculine mental energy. But this is what our ancestors did, right? So these are the principles. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I just got lunch, y'all. Thank you. Come on. All right. Yes. So these are the principles and the heritage that we received from our ancient foremothers and forefathers, y'all. Everybody see that? So it's the ultimate disrespect to deny it, to be indifferent towards it, or to not use it. Of course, it will take practice, willpower. change of self-image, right? You've got to make all of these change. In other words, you've got to be born again. How about that, yo? You got to return to the ways and principles of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, because we've been brainwashed, indoctrinated into thinking that these ancient, I can't even call them ancient, because we're born with this. You can't even call it science, because it's things that we're born with, faculties that we're born with, and they're given to us for free. For free. We didn't pay for it. But you'll never know you have it. You'll never know you have those faculties, because nobody in this dispensation of time, the hybrids are not going to tell you that. They're certainly going to hide that from you. How are they going to hide it from you? They're going to make it evil and wicked in your eyes through religion. And then they're going to give you causes. The causes are going to come through their scientific community, research, fake research. Okay, fake research. But when there's an opportunity to make money, as in today's time, they'll try to hijack it and monetize it, which is what they're doing. Y'all know that, I think it's Harvard. I heard a Hindustani, in fact, Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai, mentioned on one of his videos that the hybrids, somebody in India sold or gave access to all of the ancient records that they had. And of course they're going to edit them, right? They're going to edit them. Which brings us to another topic, and then I'm going to get to Capricorn, but we're talking corporations, y'all. This whole business about AI and transhumanism, y'all know what this is about. They want to change man's DNA so that they can claim to be the creator of the next generations of man. Y'all see that? See, right now we are from the soil. We're natural. We're the manifestation of the land. The original, aboriginal, whatever you want to call it, autochthonous, however you want to express it, that's us. But they want the next generations to be their creation. And then that puts them in the position of being what? A corrupted version of autochthonous, although not autochthonous, but here before the next generations. And the creator of that genome, which puts them in the position to be the quote unquote God and the rightful heir. Because all of the autochthonous men and women will have been changed. So y'all see that? They will have been changed. And they consented to the change. Y'all see that? Which makes them the rightful heir. Why? Well, actually, it puts them in the position where they would be the creator. Their creator. So they would have authority over what they created. Puts them in a position to be, connotatively speaking, God. Now they can take all. They can put you permanently in bondage. That's what's happening here. It's all about estate. Okay, all about who's the heir. I have spaghetti and salad. Salad, as they say here. But anyway, I wanted to get that information into this video. Okay, so when you see the word soul, S-O-U-L, you have the context of it. Oh, it's good. I'm surprised. Wow. I didn't expect it to be good. Quite delicious. Maserat. All right, y'all. So let's go back to Capricorn, teaching on authority. We covered that. There may be more encounters with authority. Y'all let some people know that we're here. Like and share the video, okay? Subscribe if you haven't already. Zodiacal keywords: responsibility, management. We went through those. We saw those. Authority, the father, coldness, and pretense. So we would look for these zodiacal keywords both on the side of the zodiac sign itself and then in the scripture. All right? So we would look for confirmation that these keywords are actually included in both. So we're somewhere around page 181. I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied with my lunch here. Very satisfied. Excuse me. I don't eat pasta often. Okay. So let's see where we is. Where we is at. Y'all know I used to miss slang and ebonics my first couple years after moving overseas. Every now and then I miss slang and ebonics, but not just the slang from our community, all of the slangs. I grew up in a Orthodox Jewish community. From K through 12. But I used to miss it because when you go overseas, you hear so many different dialects of English because you meet so many people from different countries, so many different dialects of English. Okay, y'all. So in our last video, we dealt with Mark chapter 11, verse 29 and 32. That was the presentation right before this one. I think that was 35. Number 35. Okay? That's when JC told the people he was talking to, the chief priests, scribes, and the elders. JC said, well, I'll tell you where I get my authority if you tell me where you get yours. Okay? So let's move on. All right? Let's go to page 183. Let's go to page 183. Oh, by the way, the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders, these were the people who were in power. They had management over the land and the people, according to the story. So they were the responsible ones, okay? They were the thought leaders, the judge, the jury, and the executioner. All right? Okay, so those are relating to the zodiacal keywords that we discussed. Usually when you eat spaghetti overseas, from what I experienced in Asia, it's a little dry. They don't give you enough sauce, but this has a lot of sauce. This is really delicious. Okay. So page 183. It is well for us to remember that these men who I just mentioned are the sources of authority in Israel. They're not simply marketplace debaters, like on Sinetta, right? You can liken it to that. They're just debate. They don't have any authority in the nation. They're just debating in the what marketplace? YouTube. Okay, nothing they say really means anything. And other, not just Sinetta's channel, but y'all get the point. All of the debate, barbershop debates. These are what the author is talking about. They are not simply debates taking place, people who debate in a barbershop or people who debate on YouTube or social media or on the corner. The chief priest, who would almost certainly have been from the powerful and influential Sadducean party, are accompanied by those Saturnian, that's the planet Saturn, those Saturnian figures. These are people who display or demonstrate the personality, qualities, and characteristics, the behavior, the demonstrated behavior of Saturn. Remember, I asked everyone to go and look at the characteristics of the planet Saturn. Okay? So the Sadducean party, so these would be your Democrats, Republicans, Independent Party, whatever political parties that have power, are accompanied by those Saturnian figures, Brotherhood of Saturn, the Dark Priesthood, quote unquote, the elders. So if you're in the JW religion, you might want to think about this. The older men, this is according to the New Testament, right? The pillars of the community. These are the Saturnian figures, saved, or even have a chance to be saved. All right, that's where I get the duplicity. But there are other incidents, right? That's just one. Another one would be the homosexuality, where JC invited the youth to his room in the evening and to only come with his jock strap on. And then he spent the night, left the next day, while JC taught him the secrets and the mysteries of the kingdom of God. This is in the secret book of Mark. Y'all remember that? We went through that. So there's a lot of duplicity, a lot of secrets. All right. So let's continue. Now, these elders are brothers of Saturn, the Saturnalian Brotherhood, the Dark Priesthood. Also present are some scribes. Scribes are legal experts who were generally associated with the Pharisees, another political party, another sect who had power, political power, social power, who could quote the law of Moses verbatim. They could quote the book of the law. They could quote the Mosaic covenant, word for word. But yet, they were members of the dark priesthood. Y'all see that? They use that knowledge to harm others. The essence of natural, the essence of natural law, the essence of the Most High's commandments is don't harm anyone, do no harm. So these are people who were well-versed, educated in nature and natural law. But they used it deceitfully and harmfully. And the people didn't realize it. That's the point. So you need to evaluate your relationship with these so-called elders, mores, pastors, reverends, preachers, rabbis, moshes, captains, generals, officers, Hebrew Israelites, Hebrew Israelite Christian, Hebrew Israelite Old Testament only, Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, all of these religions. Remember, this is what we started out with in Capricorn. Capricorn is where you need to evaluate how much influence you allow a religion, a scriptural book, a holy book, and so-called holy people to influence your decision making and your life. So all of y'all see that? This Capricorn. So what can we learn from this? This is why you should not worship any external deity. Be he a man or woman or a hybrid or a corporation or a quasi-corporation. Why? Because power tends to corrupt, and absolute power absolutely corrupts, but that's not the most important reason. The most important reason is that you were given the faculties to solve every problem. Remember, all is mine. All is mine. All is mine. The physical world. This is a manifestation of mentalism and the other 6 Hermetic principles. And we can use those 7 Hermetic laws, principles, and the minor laws or lesser laws to create the world that we want for ourselves and to influence other people's health and behavior. That's the point. That's why they want you to be out of your mind. Speaking connotative linguistics, you're out of your mind. That's why they want you to be out of your jurisdiction. Having no nationality. Why? Because you cannot use mentalism, the law or principle of mentalism. You cannot use it. In fact, you didn't even know that you have the capability. And you've been separated from your bloodline, your ancestry, your heritage, so you don't even know that your ancestors did it or how they did it. Y'all see that? So you're a blank slate, totally reliant on the hybrid for everything, right? Isn't that Deuteronomy, one of the curses of Deuteronomy 28 for violating the Most High's instructions, which are natural law? You will be dependent upon your enemy for everything. But when you return to the Most High, you get your heritage back. That's also how to use this to quote unquote think and grow rich. Y'all see where Napoleon Hill got his title? Why that title is so apropos? That title is so powerful. Think and grow rich. Rich is not just money or fiat. He told you that, or physical things. He told you that himself. Can y'all see that? Think. Thinking is analysis. But all of this is thought. Thought is man. Thought is man. Man is a constricted or shortened form of the word manifest. Y'all got that? Manifest. Manifest of what? We're manifested from those underlying principles that govern the universe, a manifestation of the mind, mentalism, and the six other principles or laws. Y'all see that? Everybody see that? So since masculine and feminine energy is in everything, well, that's another story. But my point is, man is manifestation of the mind. What is the mind? The law of mentalism. Mind. Mind is consciousness. Consciousness is awareness. Awareness is intelligence. Everything is intelligent. Everything. Tangible or intangible. That means you can see it or you can't see it. Is intelligence embedded in it? And there's also mental gender, masculine and feminine energy embedded in it. Now, the physical body may have limitations on its functionality. For example, like in the Kabbalion, they talk about a worm. A worm is not the all, but the worm was made from the all. But I'm going to take that further because I don't agree with some of the things he said on that topic. But I do agree that functionality is limited by your physical body, by the design. Well, that's obvious, right? That's obvious. But you're still made up of mind, intelligence. All right? But anyway, and who knows what our limitations are, right? Who knows? Our ancestors were said to travel in time without leaving their physical body. Communication, telepathically. And this has been proven, especially in Russia. In Russia, they put a lot of research into this. It's a real fact. Okay? But you cannot do it if you don't know it. because you'll never practice it unless you stumble across it. Okay? So let's continue. JC's handling of his interrogation at Mark chapter 11, verse 29 through 32, at their hands shows his contempt for their supposed wisdom. How about that, y'all? How about if you show contempt toward your religious leaders' wisdom? They're going to throw you out, right? Or they're going to tell you you don't have the Holy Spirit. Or they're going to call you a heathen. They're going to discredit you in one way or another. And for the whole system of spiritual authority, the whole camp, the whole church, the whole organization, their governing body, the whole leadership. JC showed contempt for the whole system of spiritual authority, but they want y'all to follow. The Catholic Church will come out and ask and say that they're okay now because they pray for forgiveness, while they continue reaping the benefits and never correcting the wrongs or returning what they stole or robbed people for. Also with the corporate nation states. But JC showed contempt for their so-called spiritual authority, on which their combined status as teachers of the people is based. Of which their combined status. Now that means you need to start questioning the doctrines, the books, the rabbinical commentaries, the rabbinical writings that a lot of the, especially Hebrew Israelites, are using, which is not their stuff, as I mentioned earlier. As I mentioned earlier, it's not their stuff. A lot of that may have been culturally appropriated. That's a modern term that people use. Y'all see what I'm saying? The ancient writings may be ours, you know, because they have the hybrids have a history. They're publicly known for for just stealing people's stuff, putting their name on it. Right? Even images. But the stuff that was written in more modern times, you shouldn't, it's my opinion rather, that you shouldn't use rabbinical writings, right? That's religion. That's religion. It's religion. Okay? And they have a point, in my opinion. If it's not ancient. Okay, y'all? So the point is that JC said, if something smells like fish, it's fish, right? And if you don't want to smell fishy, want that fishy smell in your clothes, then you need to let it go. In other words, it's okay to condemn it and leave it, and not be afraid about, well, where am I going to go? if I don't stay here? Or I know they're not right, but where else am I going to see? No, you have to have the courage to cut that off. Remember, JC said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Right? So anything that happened to JC because of he being the way, the truth, and the light is going to happen to you. Because we're all supposed to be what? Christ-like. Y'all see that? So anything that we read about that the Pharisees and the Sadducees and others did to JC, they're going to do to us. Because we become the light. That's the goal, is to become the light, the Christ. That's the message in here. So we're supposed to be footstep followers of Christ. So as a footstep follower of Christ, when you see the hypocrisy, when you see problems, I'm not going to even talk about the doctrine, but when you see the hypocrisy and other problems, JC set the example of what you should do, which is to walk away. Why? You condemn them. You walk away from them. Okay? The next passage, the parable of the tenants, Mark chapter 12, verse 1 through 12, is a blistering attack on all the leaders of Israel, past and present, who have consistently maltreated or killed, capital G-O-Ds, Dios, Dias, Zeus, Thoth, Thoth, is that how you pronounce it? Thoth, Odin, Woden, a magistrate, anybody who has significant authority, right? But deity-wise, I just named a few of them, who maltreated or killed the deity's messengers. These are the wicked, quote-unquote, husbandmen of Israel. So when you think husbandman or husbandry, that would be associated with Venus, not Venus, no, not Venus, Virgo, the constellation Virgo, all right? So Virgo and then her husband Joseph. So y'all make these connections. You get more on that in the Devil's Pulpit. The ones to whom, capital G-O-D, has entrusted his vineyard. Oh, the vineyard is a big deal, right? Why? Because a vineyard, the wine, the making, the collecting or the harvesting of the wine is the culmination of the harvest, the covenant of grace. Everybody see the connection? That's the best part. The whole year, everything that happens during the whole year, all natural phenomena, all activities of all kingdoms, bacterial, protozoa, we named all of those, animals, insects, the insect kingdom, all of those, all of that is to get us to the point of harvest. And then the climax of the harvest is the gathering of the grapes, the sweet grapes, right? But who by their treachery, by their tricks, have forfeited the right. Y'all see that? So y'all elders, your elders who are acting scandalously, you might not know why, but you just see it, or your officers, captains, generals, all of them, pastors, rabbis, preachers, reverends, you name, imam, you name it. See, if it sounds like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. The tricks and the treachery, they already forfeited their right to exercise any authority in spiritual matters. So why are you scared? Mark chapter 12, verse 9 through 11. Get the courage to walk away. Abandon religion, all. Especially the fear of it. Okay? Now, what do we know when we, quote unquote, walk in faith? Y'all know that Christian quote, that Christian phrase. When you walk in faith, what are you doing? You don't know what's coming in the future. You don't know, for example, you're driving down a road, it's nighttime. You can only see as far as your headlights. But beyond that, you can't see, but you don't stop driving, do you? You keep going. When you get to a corner, you don't know what's behind that corner. You don't stop because you don't know what's behind the corner. No, you don't. You continue driving, you turn that corner, and you keep going. Okay? And life has a funny way. Actually, it's not funny when you know it. But life has a funny way of making you suffer to correct you, to correct your character, to correct your concepts. In other words, the pain, the suffering is a signal. It ain't supposed to be a lifetime of suffering. It's supposed to be corrective, signposts. That's all. But you suffer. And that suffering helps you build your character. The suffering, you can say these are, if you want to equate it to war, soldiers that you battle against. But remember, the problems we have, they're a result of what? Our thinking, our self-image. The foes in our mind. And when we overcome all of those foes, guess what? We've overcome all of those foes, all of those sufferings, all of those battles. Now, where are we? If you survive it, you're in the covenant of grace. You're the Christ. You went through the fire. Y'all see that? Everybody see that? Now you have no restrictions on you. You become a master, as it were. If y'all listen to or read the the seven hermetic, the Kabbalion. Okay, so these sufferings and your use, your knowledge of and use of those natural laws. Now remember, this is all following the Most High's commandments. Makes you a master. What's a master? That you're Christ. Christ controlled the weather, right? He made the storm stop. Steve Estrada, I am the Christ. Definitely, indeed, and we all are. I'm really happy to hear you say that, Steve. That's what it's about. Knowing who we are and our power. Psalms 82:6, in relation to everything else around us, status. So we can move a mountain, as it were, with our mind. Y'all see that? This is following the Most High's commandments. This is the covenant of grace. We didn't buy it. We didn't have to work for it. It was given to us. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. I'm gonna try my salad. Y'all should come to Vietnam. You won't regret it. Vietnam, you get fresh food, fresh fruit, fresh vegetable, fresh fruit drinks. The cuisine is absolutely delicious. You see all kinds of people, all flavors, y'all. Really, all flavors. You'll find all flavors in Vietnam. Let's continue. Now remember, we're still dealing with the zodiacal events on page 22, lessons on authority or teachings on authority. Okay, so we've confirmed the teachings on authority and many of the zodiacal keywords already. But this is just so interesting. Let's continue a little bit more with the teachings on authority. Hard on the heels of this collective denunciation comes a series of encounters with various separate groups of mentors within Judaism. Now, again, Judaism is a religion. Everybody can join it. It is not the bloodline. Bloodlines are exclusive. Judaism, religions are inclusive. Bloodline bloodline is kinfolk. So we have to eliminate family, the word family, from our vocabulary because it deludes to bondage, deludes to slavery. All right, you self-incriminate yourself. You put yourself in their jurisdiction. All right, so Judaism, inclusive. Everybody and their mama can become or can join the Jewish religion. Doesn't matter your bloodline. Okay? Doesn't matter your culture, your heritage, birthright, nothing. That's the purpose of setting up a religion. It's a remix. It's a remix of nationality. Y'all got that? It's a remix of nationality where birthright is canceled out and replaced with, or let's say not canceled out, but the birthright is masked over with religious doctrine. Y'all see that? So when you when you know who you are, strong masculine energy, you know your nationality, you know your heritage, etc. Now that's like being in the inner house because you know how to use the 7 hermetic principles. You know how to use nature. You're familiar with, are aware of, and have practiced and mastered each of the hermetic laws. Now you become Christ, the Christ. You can heal. You can do all of these amazing, quote unquote, miracles, or what appear to be miracles that the Christ figure did. Everybody see that? That the biographical Christ figure did. So the mind sciences, the mind sciences are the hermetic laws properly executed by a man or a woman. Okay, but that was masked over and replaced with ceremonies, rituals, and doctrines, and an external deity that was provided, an anthropomorphic external deity of the sun itself, the S-U-N, sun in the sky, anthropomorphized into a biographical JC the Christ figure. and others, Mithra and others. There are many sun or solar deities. Okay? So you have before you right now nature and natural law, which is your jurisdiction, and Admiralty Maritime Catholic Christian canon jurisdiction. Which one do you choose? To be a bondman and a bondwoman, civilly dead, Civiliter Mortuus, or to be the sovereign, creative power, the all manifested in the fleshly body that we call man or woman, the master of the physical plane, the heir, the rightful heir of all land, commerce and contracts, energy, terrestrial and cosmic, and all kingdoms, protozoa, bacteria, fungi, insect, animal, you name it. We are the masters, the rightful heirs. Which one do you choose? If you choose to return to the Most High and follow His commandments, you choose correctly. And His commandments are memorialized in the book of the law. Not the ceremonies, not the rituals, not the deceit, Jeremiah 8, verse 8, but the essence of it is found in the Ten Commandments, in Deuteronomy 28, 29, 30, etc. Don't harm anyone. Which includes honor your ancient foremothers and forefathers so that it may go well with you on the land that the Most High is giving you. That is a trust you have in an estate. Live the principles. Live according to the principles of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So you get the 5-pointed star. These are synonymous or synonym or denominate those 5 principles differently. You get what? Don't harm anyone. Honor your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. This is fundamental. Everybody see that? Okay, so let's go. Let's continue. Okay, so we're talking about Judaism, the religion, and how it's a remix from natural law, which is the Most High's commandments. Okay, it's a remix and a mask over. It is color of law. The first of which involves the Pharisees and the Herodians. So the Pharisees, religious leaders, the book of the law, and then the Herodians, right? The political authority in working with Rome, put in place by Rome. Now remember, Rome is Moorish spelled backwards. So these are the renegade, dark priesthood, brothers of Saturn, Moors, initially. Rome, remove the E, and you get M-O-R, more. So more on the positive pole, Rome on the negative pole when you apply the law of polarity. Y'all see that? More positive, higher self. Roman, negative pole, lower self. Dishonor. Okay? The dark priesthood. Saturn is a dark black, grayish black planet. Black. Okay? It is historically very unlikely that these two parties would be united on any issue. In other words, religion and politics, they wasn't getting along, on the outside, or on the surface rather. But it is their mutual animosity that Mark exploits as they frame a question for JC, which, however he might answer it, would be sure to alienate one group or the other. So here's that masterful question. Here's the masterful question. The masterful answer. Should we pay tribute to Caesar? Should we pay a tax to Caesar, to Rome, or to the government? Should we pay a tithe to a camp or church or mosque or temple that is contracted with the political system? They asked JC at Mark chapter 12, verse 15. The Herodians, who are supposed to be Edomites, according to the story, the Herodians, so named because they supported the puppet regime set up by the Romans, by the dishonorable Moors, the dark priesthood, would want to hear an affirmative power. So yeah, the political, the Herodians, yeah, they want to say, yeah, they want to hear you say, yeah, you need to pay taxes. Right? The Pharisees, fiercely conscious of Israel's unique status as quote unquote God's, capital G-O-D, people, Dios, Diaz, Zeus, Isus, Odin, Woden. Modern spelling is God, G-O-D. And then the dog star right? Sirius. And also, is it Anubis, y'all? I forgot to check. Anubis is the half-dog deity in Egyptian mythology. Or could it even be Nephilim and Raphaim in general? Okay, we're talking about the Pharisees. So the Pharisees were opposed to Roman authority. The Pharisees would want to hear JC answer, no, Israelites should not pay taxes. JC's reply surprises them both. Quote, here's JC's reply, y'all. Give to Caesar, give to the church, give to the government, give to the political entity that which belongs to Caesar, and give to capital G-O-D, Zeus, Odin, Woden. Y'all make the distinction. Are you Zeus? Are you Odin? Are you Woden? Are you Thoth? Are you Sirius, Sirius, the constellation? Are you the dog star in that? Are you Anubis, the dog deity? Or are you you? Remember the masculine the mental masculine energy, mental gender, remember that? That exists outside of the body, the physical body, proven scientifically. The silent observer, the witness against you, but for you too. When the fleshly body dies, expires, that masculine energy is still there. What is that? That's consciousness. What is consciousness? Intelligence. What is intelligence? Awareness. What is awareness? This is mind, mindfulness. So are you? Let me rephrase that. I'll put the question, who are you? If you are the mind, that first Hermetic principle. Now, a lot of people will disagree with what I'm saying because they're going to say, well, the physical body, you are limited in what you can do. Well, that might be true. Let's say that it is true. Your masculine energy still exists outside of you. And consciousness is energy anyway, cannot be created or destroyed. So if our mind, y'all remember the mind exists outside of the body. This was and probably still is a big issue in science. Where is the mind? See, because if the mind exists outside of the body, then it suggests, it strongly, no, let me not say it. The way the argument has been made is that if the mind exists outside of the body, there is a God. And man is subordinate to the God. But if the mind exists in the physical body, well, then there is no God. Y'all see? You see the issue here? So since you are consciousness, awareness, intelligence, you exist, that masculine gender energy exists outside of your fleshly body. When this fleshly body expires, that masculine energy is still there. It was never in the fleshly body in the first place. Y'all see that? So why should you go? Now, I'm not talking about your consciousness. I'm just talking about the masculine mental energy. That silent witness, that silent observer. Okay? That one's, remember, I does not change. I be, I am, I exist. That the tetragrammaton was remixed from. Mental masculine energy. The first law, mentalism, which was remixed into the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, or Holy Ghost. So you mean you're going to abandon that? Abandon yourself, your power, who you can trust, because it's you. You're not going to lie to, well, some people lie to themselves, but y'all know what I mean. You're not going to take advantage of yourself if you're in your right mind. But when you go to these external powers, they will take advantage of you. Yeah, they'll put you to work. They got a lot of work for you to do. Is it clear? Okay. My food got cold. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. So that quote, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, comes from Mark chapter 12, verse 17. This little saying expresses concisely what the Christian attitude to authority should be. Y'all know there's the Gnostic view of Christianity, the Sabian more nature-oriented view of Christianity, and the Constantine view of Christianity. So make the difference, okay? Be aware of the distinction. Gnostic Christianity is nature-based. All right? It's all about me, you, we are the power. The Constantine Christianity is about war, deception, doctrine, and external deities, and a biographical JC, the Christ figure, and the whole New Testament scam. So let's continue. All right. So here is the Christian attitude to authority, according to the author, according to Christian doctrine. Let's see what he says. Which Christian doctrine is he going to talk about? Where it makes legitimate demands, we should obey. Where it makes legitimate demands, we should obey the government. So let's say North America. Where it makes legitimate demands, that's statutes, public policies, legitimate, that's a key word, right? Legitimate demands, we should obey. But we must not assume that our civic duties and our spiritual duties are the same thing. I completely disagree. He's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. So why is he wrong? Why am I saying he's wrong? Scholars, who can answer that question? What is wrong with his statement right there? What's wrong with it? Somebody put an answer in the comment section. Like and share the video, y'all. Like and share the video. What's wrong with what he's saying? Our civic duties and our spiritual duties. Let me repeat that. But we must not assume that our civic duties and our spiritual duties are the same thing. So he's saying that you have civic duties and you have spiritual duties, and they are not the same. They're different. Is that a correct statement for autochthonous Moors, autochthonous men and women? Yes or no? I'm going to watch the chat for a minute, y'all. Somebody put something in the chat. Let me know what y'all thinking. I'll read it off. Okay. All right. First of all, what does he mean, spiritual duties? What is spirit? Breathing? No, he could not possibly mean that. But we could look at the definition of spirit given in the Kabbalion, which is I'm gonna paraphrase it, the fundamental essence of everything. So if that's the case, that would be the Hermetic laws, the natural laws. So what the author is saying is that nature, our obligation to live harmonically with nature, is separate from any duties we may have that are civic. Our civic duties are different from our obligation to live in harmony with nature. Y'all see that? So I would say absolutely not. They are one and the same. Civic duties must always be harmonic with nature. So when they have you acting out of harmony with nature, what do you get? You get Attainder and bills of Attainder. You get punishments. That's the curses. Nature will punish you. That's the curses, cause and effect, for violating natural law. And there is no mercy, no exception. Nature will eventually punish you. So the civic law, the civic duties are one and the same and are a reflection of, or an expression of natural law. The 7 and also the minor natural laws. Y'all see that? But remember, religion masked over nature. So they separated nature and civic duty. Hence you get the administrative state. Hence the substance is taken out of the Constitution. I'm talking about Constitution for the United States of North America. All right? Because that's what I know. Y'all can talk about your own Constitution. I don't know anything about that. Everybody see what I mean? Y'all follow me? See, do no harm. That's a civic responsibility, right? Have a strong desire to regain or to keep your inheritance. That's according to nature, but it's also a civic duty. Y'all see it? One and the same. Religion separates the two. Let's continue. There is a clear implication, too, that our duty to the deity, to capital G-O-D, to Zeus, Isis, Odin, Woden, Thoth, is more important than our duty to systems, be they secular or religion. Now, there's the deceit. So y'all see that forked tongue? Our duty to the deity, that's the biographical Christ figure. Our duty to the biographical Christ figure, that means your duty to suffer. Pick up your torture stake and suffer for a lifetime. Not suffer to learn your weaknesses in your character or to discover your strength. and then you move on, suffering stops. But Christianity says extend it for a lifetime. That's what's happening here. And suffering, never, ever, ever, long-term suffering never leads to happiness. If you're focused on suffering, guess what? Law of attraction, you will attract more suffering. So what do you need to learn how to be happy suffering? Or should you learn how to correct your thoughts, your consciousness, your obsessions, your habits, to minimize or eliminate suffering, which means that you are living in honor. You're letting your yes mean yes and your no, no, and you know who you are. So you have a very positive self-image. In other words, your self-image perfectly matches who you are. There's no distortion. In other words, a negative self-image will produce dishonorable, negative, self-limiting behavior. I hope it's clear. It is worth noting that the denarius minted in Spain, y'all know Spain before was called, I believe it was Al-Andalusia, before the takeover, before we lost power. And isn't it interesting that Florida is also Al-Andalusia? Y'all put two and two together. It is worth noting that a denarius minted in Spain during the reign of Augustus y'all know Augustus, August, make the correlation to the Zodiac, what he's saying about himself. Actually displayed an image of Capricorn on the reverse side. McNeese tells us. So y'all should know. Y'all see that? All right, y'all make sure y'all download the book. I wish they would have given us a date, so that I could say what's on my mind. But I won't, because he didn't give us a date. We'll save that for another presentation. So we covered, I think, good enough. Let's see, hold on. Although Augustus was dead when Mark was writing, y'all got that? Augustus was dead when Mark was writing. It is possible that the text here alludes to an image of an imperial power with which his earliest readers would have been familiar. After all, coins do not go out of circulation upon the death of the monarch whose likeness they bear. Let's look at the footnote. Titus also issued a denarius with Capricorn on the reverse in 79 CE. He was born on December 30th, 39 CE. Y'all listen. Titus also issued a denarius with Capricorn on the reverse. That's the reverse side, right? Aren't the Romans the reverse of the Moors? M-O-R or M-M-O-R, positive pole, negative pole, opposite end, or reverse. R-O-M, Rome, R-O-M-E, remove the E. Flip it back, turn it around, right? Because it's an antigram, turn it around. So you get Rome, R-O-M-E, delete the E, turn it around, you get M-O-R, you can double the R. So see, that's still more, but it's what? Same thing. Same thing, same nature. More Rome. Opposite ends of the same line. Same nature, but opposite in character. Honor, dishonor. Moors, honorable. Rome, Moors spelled backward. They threw in an E, and dishonorable. The dark priesthood, brothers of Saturnalia. They want to be worshipped and ruled. But then, of course, they were eventually taken over by the hybrids. All right. Yeah, they say the original Romans were quote unquote black, but we know that there was no black, right? And that black actually means bleached. So, what can we say about these coins? Most likely just what? Frauds. These are causes. These are causes that were put out to have the effect of you making that this was a real historical event by producing coins and other fake artifacts. Or the artifacts might be real, but they don't have anything to do with the biographical story, with the mythological story. Maybe they got them from someplace else. Y'all see the point I'm making? Why do I say that? Because according to Moses, the promised land was a burning waste, completely destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah. Uninhabitable, no water. So how you gonna, well, y'all watch the video I did with Sonetta Zion Law School on YouTube. As soon as you search Zion Law School, my homepage, you'll see a video with me and Sonetta. It's called All Abrahamic Religions Are a Fraud, or something like that, or a hoax, or something like that. But you'll see why all of this New Testament stuff, JC was born in Nazareth, Second Temple being rent, the whole story is a lie according to Moses. So that means all of these artifacts are fake. If they are authentic, they were taken from another place and added to a story. Why? As I said before, they use masculine mental energy to overwhelm, to punk yours out, to put it in street vernacular, because yours is weak. You don't even much know who you is, let alone have any direction in life. So they hit you with masculine mental energy through the public school system, through children's books, through children's songs, through the public food system, and through media, cinema, television, magazines, internet, videos, all of that stuff. Giving you information about everything but your nationality and heritage and birthright. The black, the y'all remember Good Times? All about suffering. Nothing ever went right. And if it did go right, it didn't stay right. Keep you in that weak, masculine, gender energy state of mind. In other words, this I am, I be, the Father remix, right? I am, I exist, I be the Tetragrammaton, the Father. you're almost totally disconnected. You don't even much know who you is. And who you is your nationality. I'm my mother's son. Like I told y'all before, I used to see my grandmother when she had Alzheimer's. She would say, well, every time I see her, well, whose boy is you? I tell her my mother's name. I'm so-and-so's son. Oh, yeah? Well, I declare. So if I ask her, who is she? Or if I ask you, who are you? What's the first thing come out of a child's mouth? They're going to tell you who their parents are. All the way down. Okay, that's your kinfolk. That's your nation. That's associated with land and what? A heritage and a law, a jurisdiction. And you have treaties with other nations. And y'all speak your own law language. Right? If that's lost, you don't even much know who you is. So they come in with something for you. A stronger masculine energy that collaborates with your feminine energy, which is in your physical body. This is why I keep always talking about this. And now your creative mechanism, your feminine energy, or remixed Holy Spirit, you want to talk about feminine creative energies, gets hijacked by your oppressor, and you manifest what they want you to do, be, and have, and your state of mind, your status. Niggas, Negroes, Blacks, Latinos, African Americans, fiercely independent, self-centered, and selfish, insecure. Will not cooperate, will not work together, will destroy each other. Always wanting recognition, always wanting to be the only one, the only Negro. And always wanting the favor and admiration of your quote-unquote God, who is the white man. And if he's not the white man, let me ask you, why did you take the shot? A known criminal. A known criminal. A group of people who are known through the last couple hundred years to be out to genocide you out, lock you up for no reason, take everything you got. But yeah, you believed him. Why? Because he's your God. Why are you still reading his religious books? The rabbinical books, why y'all still using them? Why are you still using his Torah? His Bible? Why don't you make your own? Why? Because he's your God. You don't have to because your God already gave it to you. That's the kind of ignorant, sick thinking that the black people have and many more have. You won't put 2 Federal Reserve notes, let alone 1, toward a project to write your own book of the law in your own language that incorporates natural law and everything else we've been talking about back into the book of the law. You won't do it. How do I know? Because you haven't. And if I were to go ahead and sacrifice every minute of every day to produce the book, y'all won't even buy it. That's how messed up y'all are in the head. Why? Because that's your God. Whether most of y'all won't admit it, but if it don't come from the white man, it ain't real. And why should you make your own when you can go buy it on Amazon? That kind of ignorant thinking. Y'all should be running away from anything that whatever has the hybrid has ever touched and gave you. But you won't. Why? Because you're under a spell. You say one thing, but you don't mean it. You talk the talk, but you don't walk the walk. You're a bunch of you know what. And I don't say that derogatorily, but that's what you've been socially engineered to be. The mechanism of which is the hijack of your masculine mental energy. And hitting you, as I said earlier, with their masculine mental energy. And then hitting you with causes, right? Causes, situations, etc. To prove it to you, to give you evidence. To support the beliefs and thoughts and feelings that he instilled in your mind. Y'all see that? Oh, so now things are happening. Causes are being thrown at you. Situations are being thrown at you. And wow, the effect is everything this dude has said about you, that you learned, that you see on TV, all of it's true. That's why you hear niggas ain't shit. I don't need a man. That's why you hear it's a shame because even now the mature, well not mature, in their 40s and 50s and 60s talk like teenagers. Foolishness like teenagers. In terms of treating each other harshly, abusing each other, having no regard for each other. Why? Because you got to keep it real, right? Anyway, I'm done. Andrew Brooks said, Anderson Silva, what up? All right, I don't know how to take that. I don't know if well, Islam and Shalawama, if you're Genesis chapter 2 more, welcome to the free Astro Theology course. All right, I hope you just don't learn, but I hope you will actually do it. I hope you will do it, okay? Now, don't come back in the comment section calling me a byword. I'm not Anderson Silver, okay? My appellation is Dr. Yasapa All right? So I'm going to let you slide on that, but let me tell you, don't do it again, okay? Don't call me a byword. Don't try to lightweight disrespect me. I'm not saying you are because I don't know you, but I'm speaking to everyone because of some trolls who've been coming in the comment section. But anyway, y'all, we're going to pick it up. We're almost done with this. Let me see, maybe one or two more videos. But we covered, let me go back to page 22 before we leave. Page 22 before we leave. All right. Page 22. We've covered the teaching on authority to my satisfaction. Next video, if there's something more interesting, I might bring it up. Encounters with authority figure, we covered that. We covered responsibility, management, authority, the father, coldness, and pretense. We didn't deal with those directly. So those zodiacal keywords are probably what we're going to deal with directly next video. All right, y'all. And yeah, let's make it do what it do. the next video. And then after that, we only have two more signs, two more zodiac signs to go through, and we'll begin our next book. And I'll announce what the next book is going to be at that time, y'all. Now I'll provide y'all with the link too. Okay. So anyways, I'm asking y'all if y'all learned it, if you learned, or if you think you learned, or if you were reminded of something, y'all support the project to write the book of the law in Ancient Ibaryath and modern English with all of the natural laws, including trust, estate, constitutional, the Hermetic laws, the lesser natural laws, and how they're expressed or appear in the Constitution, in the Treaty, Peace and Friendship, 1836, Alma-Moroccan Empire, United States for North America. All right? And there's more, not just limited to that, of course. Okay, but we need our own book of the law. All right, so if y'all want to, if you feel it in your heart, if you feel some embarrassment, I hope y'all feel some embarrassment that we're still using Islam to all the Moors and Shalawama.